G'day guys, it's Mark from Signature Camper Trailers, and you've caught us down on the beautiful Hawkesbury River where we've got two of the newest variations in our model lineup, and that's the Generation 2 Iridium 13 and the Iridium 15. The Iridiums have been a staple for Signature for a very, very long time, including winning Camper Trailer of the Year. And what we've done is we've absolutely dialed them up to 11. We've got a whole raft of new electrical systems from REDARC. Toughdog have looked after the suspension systems, increased solar, increased battery power, and a whole stack of new features built into these camper trailers. So what we've done is we've brought them both down here, including our new graphite and our new white colors. And we're going to take a walk through and show you why these are some of the best two camper trailers, off-road camper trailers in our range, or in anyone's range really. Come and check it out. So what's the Iridium range? Well, let's start off with some fine details very quickly before we do a full walkthrough. So they're both off-road camper trailers and they're both extremely lightweight for the size of them. So at the 13, you're starting at 2 tonne, to the 15, you're only just over 2.2 tonne. With a maximum carrying capacity, so the 13, you're at 2.5 tonne, and the 15, you're at 2.850. So both of them have about 600 kilos, roughly 500, 600 kilos of carrying capacity. In terms of the specs, both of them are carrying 200 litres of fresh water, an 80 litre grey water tank, plus they can both carry 2 9-kilo gas bottles and 2 20-litre jerry cans. They're fitted up with massive electrical systems, 200 amp hours of lithium energized battery power. That's a lithium B-Tech battery. It's 5 years warranty, you cannot beat that. And then let's talk about what's controlling everything, and that is the REDARC system. Made in Australia, these are fully kitted up, where a lot of the other mobs are now doing all of that sort of stuff overseas. These are all completely built in Australia in terms of the entire electrical system, your air conditioning system by Webasto, Dometic dust reduction systems for all that off-grid traveling. And then let's talk about the suspension system. Toughdog have taken care of these ones as well with completely unique custom designed shock absorber systems for these camper trailers. Just like all the other campers in our range, we make sure they're completely suited for your off-grid adventures. But that's enough of the boring stuff. Let's go and check out some of the interior features and the kitchens and what makes these campers so cool. So anybody that knew our Generation 1 Iridiums knew that it was big on features, it was big on storage, and basically it was really easy to live with, and that's why it won Camper Trailer of the Year. So what have we done? Well, we've absolutely dialed this up to the next level, and we focused on storage, we've focused on ease of use, and we've added a bunch of new technological advancements. But we've got to start where the heart of the camper is, and that's obviously the kitchen, where I love to cook, do all my favourite cook-ups around the campfire. And we've continued with our completely unreal chef's gourmet kitchen. You've still got your 4-burner cast iron cooker, you've still got your massive sink, but what we've done, we've increased the storage, added an extra pantry to this area, and we've plumbed all of your water in. So now when you're setting up your kitchen, all you got to do, roll the kitchen out, plumbing's already attached, hook your gas up, open your pantry up, get your cutlery out, and you're ready to cook up your favourite dish. All of this food's making me hungry, so let's wander down to the fridge because I'm a little bit thirsty as well, but I'll point out some of the features while we're here. So you've got 12-volt sockets everywhere, you've got water gauges for your freshwater tank, you've got 2 40-volt outlet, you've got TV outlet, you've even got an external TV bracket so you can bring your TV out and, you know, watch some footy under the stars. Drop down table so you can, you know, do a bit of meal prep or put your cheese and bickies out there. Just like our other models, you've got your dual coloured lights so you can go from orange to white just with a press of a button. You've got your light up handle so you can find your camper at night time after a couple of glasses of wine. Completely fold out step, that's manual rather than electric. One less thing to go wrong. All you got to do is whip it out and away you go. Our door, we've got dual screen lockable screen door, which is great, which means you can close that one up, still get plenty of airflow through and lock it all in place. And part of the Generation 2 range is a complete update of all of the doors and all of the windows to the new Aussie Traveller or Eurovision style of windows. Absolutely brilliant. Then we come down to the fridge. So enough space here to run a dual zone 95 litre, some 110 litre fridge freezer setups. Easily accessible, just slides out straight out of your fridge slide. And I reckon there's a couple of coloured ones in there for me for later. So before we duck around the front, I'll just point out a couple of the other features that are here. So you've actually got power for your fridge and extra 2 40-volt plugs in here. So you've got 6 sockets, you've got Anderson plug connection, and you've got 2 40-volt sockets up there as well. Then you've got a couple of breaker switches, which is all just to do with the electrical system. But up here is massive storage boot. So that opens up there, runs all the way through. You can get your poles in there, you can get fishing rods in there, you can throw some chairs in there. It is absolutely massive. You're gonna struggle to fill that one up. But anyway, that one's empty. I haven't got enough stuff for that. I'll close that up and we'll go and check out what's going on around the front of the trailer. So probably the biggest visual change from the Generation 1 to the Generation 2 Iridium range is actually the front of the camper trailer. And you'll notice here that we've got this brand new whole big storage locker, relocation of the gas bottles, and what you might not actually notice is we've got an increased length of the drawbar. So the camper itself isn't actually any longer, but we've been able to increase the length of the drawbar, or the clearance of the drawbar from your front storage, which makes maneuverability, getting into tight tracks, maneuvering the camper behind the car so much easier. Then we've got this awesome front storage locker. So we've actually borrowed this design from our Marloo range, and what we've done is we've built this huge storage locker, massive amount of storage up here. You've got light in there, and you've got our swing away barbecue carrier. So you can throw your Weber on there, slide back in, or if you're not carrying a Weber, you can use it for other storage as well. And you've got your spot still for your 2 jerry cans, but without holders in there, it means that you can actually use that for other bits and pieces if you want to. Then you've got your 2 9-kilo gas bottles. Gas bottle on that side will run the entire camper, including your hot water system. And then you've got your spare one here, which is where your barbecue hooks up to. That way, you're not basically having to share the same bottle. You can switch them as you need to. Really easy to use. Coming down here, then you've got your ARC XO 750 jockey wheel, handbrake there, safety chains here, the tried and tested Cruisemaster DO35 off-road hitch. This gives you full 360-degree articulation, and what's even better is the hitch actually locks onto the car. Extremely safe, really good system. Made in Queensland, and you can't go wrong, again, with a bit of Australian-made components. Then we've got Anderson plug connection, 7-pin plug. You've got tap on the front so you can wash your hands, fill your dog bowls, hook a hose up to it and give the camper a quick wash off. And then you've got Stone Guard protection paint and your mud flaps and so on down the front as well. So your camper's well looked after, and even though this one's a little bit dirty, she'll scrub up pretty nicely when we get back to the workshop. So we'll quickly cover off the Offside, which is a lot of the services. It's, you know, not really the sexy stuff, but we've got to cover it off anyway. So on this side is a lot of your bigger, bulkier storage and your service stuff. So you've got your 15 amp inlet. That's where you basically hook up 240 volt from, you know, friend's place, caravan park and so on. This is the other side of that storage box, which is all the way through there. You've still got more light, so light up here, light down there, huge big storage locker in here, and that includes what we refer to as the generator slide, plus a couple of really big drawers, which are really handy for extension cords, leveling ramps, hoses, you know, tools, all those sorts of bits and pieces, and you've got 2 of them, which is brilliant. Hidden in the back there is actually your batteries. So that's part of your electrical system, and we'll show you that shortly when I explain how that's all run sort of inside. Then you've got underneath, you've got stabilizer legs everywhere. You've got 80-litre grey water tank, so that's basically for your shower and your internal sink. That all flows into the grey water tank. If you're at a caravan park or somewhere where you can dump that, just run it straight into the hose. Otherwise, national parks, save it, dump it when you get out. Then you've got your toilet canister from the tried and trusted Tetford range. So it's a Tetford toilet canister. Chemicals and fresh water basically goes in there, and all the naughty stuff goes in there. Then that just comes out. You do the proud walk of shame through the caravan park, straight to the dump point and get rid of all of that. Then coming further down here, you've got a coaxial point here for your TV, so you can attach another external aerial. There is one on the roof, and I'll explain that in a moment. You've got mains water connection, again, at a friend's place, caravan park, hook the hose up. Don't worry about the pumps in the camper or the water tanks. You can run the entire thing off mains water. You've got the fill point for your water tanks. As mentioned, you've got 200 litres of fresh water. That's 2 100-litre tanks. They can be isolated, basically fill that up. That'll fill your water tanks up. 200's heaps. That's gonna give you plenty of days off grid. You've got an external shower, which is brilliant if you're, you know, washing the kids off, or you just want to wash your feet off, or better yet, you're somewhere beautiful like this, there is no one else around, and you can have a nice shower in nature, wash yourself off after you've been to the beach and whatnot. More lights. And then down here is the basically the flue for our Truma gas electric hot water system. So pretty much take the cover off. That gas electric hot water system, it's got about a 12-litre holding tank in it. It'll work off 240 volt if you're plugged into mains power. Otherwise, flick a switch inside. This whole system will run off gas. Little pilot light just keeps it all heated up. It's a tried and tested system. You cannot go wrong with this system. And it's going to heat the water up really nice and quickly, so you're not really going to run out of water at any stage, unless you're taking extremely long showers and enjoy a bit of getting that steamy stuff on in the shower cubicle. But anyway, let's wander around. Well, actually, while we're here, let's talk about the roof. So on your roof, you've got a bunch of services which are really important to the running of this camper trailer. Starting up the front is your Dometic dust reduction system. That's supplied by Dometic Australia, all installed here. That basically works by forcing clean air into the camper trailer through a filter and positively pressurizing the camper. If you do a lot of dusty roads or you plan on doing any outback touring, dust is a huge issue in Australia. Well, it's not a huge issue, it's just part of traveling Australia. By positively pressurizing the camper trailer, it means that if you have any sort of gap anywhere, the rubber seals haven't quite compressed properly, one of your windows hasn't been latched up properly, it's going to force air into it, which helps prevent dust from coming into those little gaps. Then you've got your Webasto reverse cycle air conditioning system. It's a true reverse cycle air conditioning system supplied by Webasto Australia, all installed here. Really, really good system. Webasto's been around for a long time. You can't go wrong with that bit of kit. Then we've got our TV aerial. So we've got omnidirectional aerial based on the roof, and that runs through into a control box built inside the camper trailer, which means you can get TV reception at a whole lot of places, and that'll run through to your smart TV inside. And finally, we've got solar. So on this particular camper, the 13, you're running two 180 watt REDARC solar panels. That's 360 watts of rooftop solar. REDARC panels, again, brilliant warranty, great bit of kit, all installed and done in Australia. But that's enough of the boring stuff. Let's go and see what's going on inside in these beautiful little campers. Whoa, hang on, stop. Forgot something important. What's underneath this camper? And this is what helps make it an off-road camper trailer. So basically, you've got an enormous 150mm drawbar, which then runs through to your big 50x50 chassis. Then you've got absolutely no timber in this, so you've got a poly honeycomb flooring system. So basically, if that all gets wet up there, nothing's going to rot, nothing's going to swell up. You've got your two 100-litre water tanks. You've got your greater water tank as well under there, which I mentioned before. But what the camper is riding on and what helps it travel so smoothly on some of those outback roads is basically your Toughdog shock absorber system. Toughdog have done a huge amount of engineering with this. They've retuned all the compressional valving, the dampening valving, your rebound valving, I should say, which means that the thing just performs faultlessly when you're off the beaten track. Got a really, really good warranty period, I should say, and it's a whole lot of engineering. It was a whole lot of work that was done by Toughdog, and it's been rolled into this generation range. So on my right here, what you've also got is you've got your own scrub bars, which, help find the camper at night time, but it also protects the camper trailer, because it means if you're going over any big whoop-de-doos or whatnot, it's far better that these get a little rub than damaging the body of the camper. And you got your drop-down stabilizer legs. Okay, as we're walking around the front, just quickly, a couple of things here. So you've got your dual spare wheels. These are actually on gas struts, so look how easy that is to lift it up. You're not going to do your back opening that one up. And finally, your fold-out section back, and we've used the same design that we've always used. We've improved a couple of things, but some of the primary features of this are including your lockable latches, so that way when you are off the grid or you're leaving the camper somewhere, you can actually fully lock this up, nobody can break in, and you've got windows and everything everywhere, so lets lots of light in, lets fresh air in. Still a beautiful design, and how good is this graphite colour? Righto, before we jump into the inside of this camper trailer, I'm going to talk about some of the electrics, because the electrics are a really important part of the Generation 2 range of this camper. And well, we've worked really, really closely with REDARC on building this camper up. REDARC, their basically head office and headquarters are based down in Adelaide, and it's where they do a lot of the manufacturing, which means everything is all Australian based, which means the support's all local, warranty's all local, and the installation's all done in-house by us in Sydney. So starting here, we've basically got our screen, and this is our Red Vision screen. This is going to give us all of the information that we need to know what the batteries are doing, where the charge is coming from, how much power we've got left, and with the Rogue system that we're running, which I'll run through in a minute, it actually lets us do all soft switching, so turn off all of our external lights and basically isolate everything and turn it all off from this one screen. It's also got the water tanks linked in there, so we can actually see how much water we've got left, how much battery power we've got left. At the moment, we've got 98%. In 2 hours, using only solar, batteries are going to be completely full. Speaking of batteries, we're running 200 amp hours of Enerdrive lithium B-Tech batteries. The Enerdrive battery is a really good battery, 5-year warranty, 200 amp hours is heaps, but we can double that. We can put a 300 in, we can put two 200s to give you 400 amp hours. There's a few variations on it, and it really depends what you plan on using the camper with. Continuing on with this REDARC system, the entire thing is charged up using the Manager 30 battery management system. So what the Manager 30 is basically it's controlling your 240 volt charging, your vehicle charging, and your solar charging to pretty much give you the best charge possible into those batteries. So it's got a really cool feature of a green priority system. So if you're getting enough solar power, it's actually going to turn off the other charging sources and entirely rely on solar. REDARC also recently released upgraded versions of that Manager 30. So they've got the Manager 50, Manager 75, and Manager 100. If you want to upgrade those to some of those higher charging output systems, let us know, we can build that all into the system. So there's so much we can do with this camper trailer, and we'll build it based on what you need and your requirements for where you're going to go. Then we've got the Rogue. So basically the REDARC Rogue TVMS, that's your computer control module that's controlling, basically everything's plugged into it really. So it's controlling, it gives you the readout for your water tank. So it's got the tank sender wires all built into it. It's got all of your external lights and a couple of other power points and whatnot all linked into it, which pretty much means you can control everything from this screen or your phone. So if you'll see here on this screen, I've got all sorts of light switches. I've got power to turn the pump on and off, power to turn the 12 volt accessories on and off, your fridge, your inverter, all of that is controlled from this screen or your phone. So if you're away from the camper and you need to turn an external light off, basically jump on your phone, you can check how your batteries are doing and turn things on and off as you need them. Also built into this camper is the brand new RS3 2000 watt inverter from REDARC. It's all again built into this system. What the RS3 does is it's got an AC transfer functionality. That means all of your power points within the camper trailer are actually dual supply. It means that when you're off the grid, you can run all of the power points using that inverter power if you so need, if need be. So a really clever bit of kit, 2000 watt inverter, massive amount of power, really cool system, and you can turn it all off from your REDARC screen right here next to you. So while the outside might be rough and ready, inside is about comfort and luxury. And starting up the top, you've basically got these huge 360-degree windows. So your pop-top system, of which this one's a manual, but we can also do it in an electric lift. You've got these windows all the way around, which really open the whole camper up, lets the light in. From where I'm standing at the moment, I can see all of the water around me, and it keeps the camper nice and cool in this really hot weather. So it lets all that hot air rise, escape, keeps the camper beautifully nice and cool, and it's all midgie-proof screen, so it keeps all the flies and insects and so on and so forth out. Up here is basically, that's part of your dust reduction system, which I was talking about before, which is where your positive pressure system sort of formulates. Coming up the front of the camper then, and a big one of the Generation 1 Iridium 13 and Iridium 15 was the amount of storage that was built into it. We've continued that theme. So we've got this beautiful amount of workbench space here with your huge tunnel boot up the front with a couple of big cupboards there, which give you access to, you know, throw a whole lot of personals in there. You know, you can put, you know, heaps of stuff in there. You can towels, food, everything in there. It's enormous. Then we've got our bench space, our workbench. This has changed from the Generation 1. With the Generation 2, we've now got this enormous huge sink, which runs hot and cold water, plus we've got a built-in induction cooker. Single induction cooker, which means you can make yourself a nice cup of coffee in the morning. You can, you know, cook up a one-pan wonder, heat something up with it. And if you don't actually want that, we can actually build it with a bench top there, which gives you more usable space. Then you've got switches for all of your for your lights and so on. You've got 12 volt sockets everywhere. You've got isolators for air conditioning system, isolators for your induction cooker, dual supply power points. So you've got basically everything that you need right at your fingertips. You've got lights here as well. And then below the bench top is again more storage. It's just absolutely everywhere. You can just get so much stuff in here. So with a camper that's this small, it's pretty unique to have such a big ensuite system in here. So if I open that door up, you've got shower there, you've got toilet there. It is absolutely massive amount of space. So comfortable, so usable. You've got exhaust fan up there, window in there as well as a light. Beautiful space to be. but it's not taking up a huge amount of your storage. So continuing with the storage theme, we've got this massive tool boy cupboard, and this is a slight variation in the 15. So the 13's got this one enormous unit, which has all of this shelf space and a little bit of hanging space as well. Then we've got 12-volt sockets again everywhere, 240 dual supply sockets. You've got your connection for your omnidirectional aerial on the roof, and our 12-volt smart TV. So you can connect up your phone and whatnot to it if you haven't got reception. Use it as a fully smart TV functionality. And here's our control for our air conditioning system up here. Around the bed, we've got all sorts of luxury items. So you've got your fans, you've got built-in reading lights, you've got storage nooks in here, you've got windows everywhere, and they're all dual windows in terms of you've got both your blockout screen as well as your fly screen. And then you've got a small one here and an absolute massive one on that side of the bed. And over this side, you've got a nice little bench space here, so you can put your book up or a bottle of water, a glass of something, your coffee if someone's bringing you brekkie in bed. Another massive window, which keeps that theme of opening the whole thing up and having heaps of light, heaps of airflow, and basically enjoying being in nature. Another fan down here, and a nice little bench space here. And well, look at the size of the bed. You've got so much space here. You just oversized queen bed. Can't be any more comfortable than that when you're off the grid. Now, I know you're asking me where all of the storage is, so I've organised a little bit more for you. Underneath the bed here, you've got this huge storage nook. Look at that, you could get so much in there. All your shoes, sheets, towels, everything like that can go under there. Plus then you've got this seat here, and underneath the seat is even more. And one of the benefits of the Generation 2 range is that we can actually customise the trailer to suit you, to suit your personal taste. So you've got a few different benchtop options. From the black marble that we're currently featuring here, you've got this granite bench tops here, as well as this white marble as well. So there's a few different options, just like we can personalize the outside of your camper from the white to the silver to the graphite as we've got here. We can also do the same on the inside. How cool is that? One of the really important design features about this camper trailer, and something really, really important if you plan on spending a bit of time off the beaten track, is actually how we've made this camper trailer. So the whole cabinetry system is made out of aluminium. What that does is it knocks a stack of weight out of the camper, but it also increases the rigidity and makes everything so much stronger. Aluminium's much lighter than running timber cabinetry. It's also a heap stronger. So rather than relying on screws into timber, all of our hinges are nut and bolted to the camper. So by using aluminium, we've saved a heap of weight and made the whole thing a stack stronger. So this is a really cool, comfortable and compact camper trailer. But if you want that little bit more internal space, let's go and check out what the 15's got. So I love the 13 because it's lightweight, it's really compact, it's super easy to tow. But if you want that little bit more luxury and that little bit more livability, well, you've got to come and check out what is in the 15, because same specs, a lot of the same features, but you just got a whole lot more storage and living space. Come on, check it out. So with a lot of the same features, including that kitchenette up the front with your induction cooker, you're gaining so much more space in here. And well, what have you got? Well, you got a slightly bigger ensuite, you got this massive amount more storage space, including an extra large tool boy cupboard, another spare cupboard down here, more bench space, plus you're gaining this whole dinette seating area, which means you can comfortably sit inside, have a meal for two. Table drops down, which means you can convert that into a lounge area or into another small bed. Plus, we can actually build a bunk above here as well. So if you've got a couple of small kids, you can load them up and bring them with you for the trip. So it might only be 2 foot longer and a little bit heavier, but look how much more living space you've got. So the Generation 2 Iridium 13 and Iridium 15, or the Iridium range, have absolutely taken it up to the next level. There is a whole bunch of new features in it, some new designs, some tweaks to the original design. It's really an all-in-one camper, and it's still focusing on that lightweight off-road ability. Using Cruisemaster, Toughdog, REDARC, you know all the names, it means that it's really, really good, warranty's sensational, and you've got nationwide support. And better yet, you can now customize the trailer just for you, from the range of external colors, from your silver, your white to your graphite, electric roof options as well as manual roof options, a few different electrical system configurations we can do, as well as those internal cabinetry colors. There's just so much you can do with this camper to make it 100% your brand new camper. So make sure you check us out at signaturecampertrailers.com.au, or come and visit one of our dealerships around Australia, or come and say g'day at one of the caravan and camping shows. We'd be happy to show you through the Iridium range. I need to catch some tea, so Cooper, I reckon, let's go and see what we can find.